Now, this opening statement from me is going to seem very harsh, but I have to say it is at the very least truthful. NHL 21 franchise mode is a broken mess and has been a broken mess since launch. Pretty much anything that you can think of that could have gone wrong with the franchise mode has gone wrong. Whether it be broken scouting, broken trade values, chemistry issues, essentially everything is in a horrible, horrible state. And it's a shame because I still stand by my statements pre-release for this game that this is one of the best franchise modes out there when it works properly. And I've said this before as well. I had no indication it was going to be this poor upon launch. My fellow franchise mode really game changers, whether it be X-Tech, Tactics, we had no idea because any kind of preview we had for this game, these issues weren't really there. So it's been a very frustrating time. Obviously, for me on this channel, it's been frustrating because, yeah, this is supposed to be my big time of year for potential channel growth, at least in relation to NHL 21. And, yeah, that hasn't happened because I really haven't been able to do anything. That said, today, as you have probably deduced, we are doing something. We are going to fully embrace how bad this mode can be. Now, maybe I should rephrase that. How bad this mode is. Because in prior years, we have embraced how bad it can be with Milbury Mode, seeing just how we can manipulate the behind-the-scenes workings of this mode to make it just play out in ridiculous fashion. This year, at least right now, I don't need much help. It does the work for me, so it's perfect for Milbury Mode. So what we're going to do in this video is run the first season of Milbury Mode, and I want to see just how bad this can be. And while there is a patch on the horizon for franchise mode, all we know is early November. While there is a patch on the horizon, maybe we'll sim season 2. Maybe we'll see how crazy this ends up being at the end of a third season. Time will ultimately tell. But yeah, default rosters, or at least the launch roster update for this. Again, we have full AI control on the team. I'm not going to call anybody up. I'm not going to send anybody down. I'm not going to sign any free agents. If we get a trade offer, I'm going to have to accept it because clearly that's what Mike Milbury, our AI GM, wanted because of how he set up the trade block. So it is completely up to the AI to either lead us to victory or plunge us further into the depths of despair. But yeah, at the end of the day, this was really the only thing that I could see myself doing at this point because as already Josh Bailey and a 5th for just 2 second-rounders, that's not the worst trade I've seen. I mean, second-round picks do have quite a bit of value. We are going to accept that. So, Josh Bailey, have fun on Dallas. You might win a Stanley Cup sooner rather than later. And there we go. It's wasting no time. I said I wanted to see. I'm trying to shield myself from how bad this is, even though people send me examples every day. But I said, you know what? Screw it. It's November. 2020 is almost over. Let's face our fears. Let's go for it. And Jordan Eberle, and a 6th for a 3rd and a 4th. That really does sum up my fear. Jordan Eberle, $5.5 million contract. He's an 84. Sure, Jordan Eberle going out to San Jose. I'm surprised they can afford him, to be honest. But there we go. Bailey's gone. Eberle's gone. Casey Cizikas in a 3rd is going to net us a 2nd-round pick. Sure. Why not? This team might be unrecognizable by the time we hit opening night. Or maybe not. We'll see what happens there. I saw Josh Barzal at the top there, and I got very, very concerned. We signed Mikael Granlund, though, and Sami Vatanen, which isn't a good thing. Sami Vatanen's not very good at hockey anymore, but EA still has him very highly rated. So, you know, they got that going for them. So we shall see at the end of one season how different the AI GM in control can make a team. And of course, we had to use the Islanders. If it was going to be Milbury mode, we had to use the Islanders. We're sending Johnny Boychuk. Okay, Jesus, that is an awful trade. Johnny Boychuk back to the Bruins, a 5th and a 7th for a 2nd. Like that contract, like it should be Boychuk in a 2nd for a 5th and a 7th. It should be completely reversed with the picks. We will accept it. Johnny Rocket, have fun back in Boston. We miss you. Not the defenseman to get rid of at the time, but the defenseman they did get rid of. So that is what it is. Eric Holla has been signed as we are sending Scott Mayfield and 2/4 to the Flyers for a 2nd-round pick. My goodness, do the AI just love to move 2nd-round picks. We'll claim Julius Honka off of waivers. That works for me. As you know, we're actually hanging in there. It's the opening month. We've almost won more games than we've lost. I mean, obviously, losses, overtime losses, they all add up. As we're gonna trade Leo Komarov for nothing. Okay. I mean, it's a 3rd rounder next year for a 3rd rounder this year, but oh boy, Uncle Leo, see you later. Pure cap dump there for us. Why the hell not? 6-4-3 record. I will agree, though, at least the sim speed's a little bit faster, as we're immediately dealing Sammy Vatanen for a 3rd and Bobby Ryan. Sure. God. Giving the AI control of a team, letting them set up the trade block, and then just accepting the trades that they would probably accept because it's giving them what they want. It would, God, it's always a disaster, but this year it just feels like it's amplified as Bobby Ryan is currently in the minors. Our AI GM did not call him up. Joe Thornton's also on the team. He's in the minors because why the hell not? But to reiterate the point I made earlier, obviously I said, and it's true, I haven't done anything for NHL franchise mode this year so far. Obviously, hopefully once that patch is out and the game is not a mess, I'll be able to start making franchise stuff again. Like I am in the process of editing, of course, doing the roster editing as best I can. There's a lot to do. I literally cannot edit defensemen right now because of a glitch with the game. So it's been an interesting time. I have certainly debated starting up maybe a FIFA career mode or something to kind of, fill in the empty space. We'll see what happens. Holy hell. Nick Leddy, Cal Clutterbuck, and a 4th for Chris Kreider and 2/3. I mean, if you're the Rangers, would the reason for moving Chris Kreider not be to get rid of the cap hit and instead you're bringing on even more cap? Granted, it's only for the next, 2 years, but we'll take it. Chris Kreider, you're still in New York, but welcome to a different side of New York. As we're immediately going to deal free agent signing Mikael Granlund and a 3rd to Philadelphia for Morgan Frost, a 3rd and a 4th. Sure, you go right ahead and give up one of your top prospects for Mikael Granlund. Joe Thornton and a 7th for Brad Hunt and a 4th. Sure, why not? I can't wait to see what these teams look like by the end of this. It's going to be great. But again, there will be videos sooner rather than later, I hope. If the patch doesn't work out and things are still broken, then yeah, maybe there will be a FIFA series, a Madden series, an FHM series, just something to kind of fill out the content gap. Otherwise, it might just be more real-world hockey content from me. Obviously, I do enjoy doing the GM trade histories or the redrafts or even that short little video we made on Henrik Lundqvist a couple weeks ago, which was almost like a 2-minute documentary. Maybe, just maybe, there's something there to kind of do those shorter kind of mini hockey docs. We'll see. As Brock Nelson and Chad Johnson are being traded for Cam Fowler and a 3rd. Lovely. See, the problem right now is a lot of these bigger trades aren't defined as blockbusters because of the trade values, when in reality, it's like, yeah, there's probably been a lot of blockbusters that have gone down. I think I'm going to take a look at the lines and what's gone on with other teams once we get past deadline day, which, of course, I do love the new deadline day. But obviously we haven't been able to do anything with it. And when Brad Hunt and Adam Pellick are fetching a second and a third, I'm telling you, man, the AI just throw around second-round picks like candy. It's unbelievable, as this team is still somehow winning games. We are trading Bobby Ryan and a third for Travis Dermott, who is not signed, a fourth and a sixth. So I guess in the video game, at least, obviously, roster updating, we have Travis Dermott's contract in, but obviously the Leafs were not able to sign him. Connor Sherry and Yannick Weber for a third and a sixth. I can't wait to see how many draft picks we have. My God. Yet this team still has a winning record. So, hey, 17,000 trades, do what you got to do. We have a winning record, so screw it. Let's set ourselves up as buyers, and we will enter deadline day, and we'll wait to see if any kind of bigger deals happen for us. As the top players on the market, trying to fight off a sneeze here as best I can. Taylor Hall, Ryan Ellis, Landeskog, Bufflin, signed in New Jersey. Marc-Andre Fleury, Anthony Mantha, Ekholm, Hoffman in Ottawa, again. Chalmerson and Getzlaf. Sure. Why not? Who are the goal leaders? Right now? Patrick Kane, Connor McDavid, Tyler Seguin. Not really seeing anything out of the ordinary. We do have a trade. A first rounder in Shaline for Nick Bonino, Jared Spurgeon, and Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton's back in New York, baby. Oh, God. Jared Spurgeon is a critically underrated player. It's absurd. Since there's not going to be much I'm going to do here, I think what we're going to do is just... Drew Doughty is the assist leader, by the way. Sure. I don't know how many trade offers I'm actually going to get. I'll leave it until about... Well, never mind. A first, Bodie Wild, and a second for Mike Hoffman, Connor Brown, a third, and a fourth. I guess it's a good thing we held on. Mike Hoffman, welcome. It is good to see you. The AC still listed as, or now listed as sold, which is very nice. Let's see, Hoffman's off the market, Spurgeon, Bonino, good old Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton would fit in so well with Minnesota. Look at the trade value for Nick Bonino at an 81 overall. It's absolutely insane. Let's see, a first, a second, Anthony Honka and Etu Makaniemi for Matthias Ekholm, Calle Jarnkrok, a fourth, and Brad Richardson. Jesus. Let's just sim the rest of this. I think we'll just go ahead and say that Milbury got the trades he would have wanted, but I'm intrigued to see what the finalized results happen to be for that particular deadline day. I would not be surprised if this game were to crash right now. I'm waiting for it. I'm expecting it. Hello? Oh, no. Hey, there we go. Oh, I thought it broke. I legitimately thought it broke. Anthony Mantha and Sammy Vatanen were dealt to Florida. Oh, Taylor Hall and Montour for 2 firsts. Hagel and Crevier. Oh, Ellis and 2 fifths for a first. Foodie and Dickinson. David Kampf is on waivers. We'll claim him because why the hell not? So with that, let's go ahead and stop this really quickly. I want to see what some of these teams look like. We immediately signed Ilya Kovalchuk because why would you not? So the Islanders roster: Hoffman, Barzal, Brown, Lee, Beauvillier, Kreider, Johnston, Pajot, Ladd, Dow, Cole, Fritz, and Hosang. Defensively, we have Fowler and Pullock, Hickey, Dobson, Aho, and Honka, because who needs defense? Varlamov and Skarik. Frost, Zarnik, and Wallstrom, all healthy scratches. Not ideal. Let's see what some of these other AI teams look like. Have the AI actually improved at all in terms of setting up their team? God, Brock Nelson is here. Brock Nelson, top line center, because why not? I wish you could see the chemistry other teams happen to get, but that's not allowed at all. Chad Johnson, by the way, still having an 80 is absurd. For the most part, I'll give the AI credit in terms of the forward lines. Granted, we haven't looked at too many teams, but I'm not seeing too many top-line players on a lower pairing. God, Chara ended up staying in Boston. Bouwmeester's there. Okay, cool. Buffalo. Yeah, see, like last year, we would have seen a lot of people on those lower lines. I mean, granted, we're kind of seeing it here with Trocheck and Natchez on the fourth line for Carolina, but, what are you going to do? Shout out to that car in the background. Okay, so for the most part, it's actually not as bad as I would have thought. So that's promising. Almost disappointing in a way. I mean, playing Zach Smith over Kirby Dach is an interesting choice. I don't know if I'd follow that one, but we have yet to see like a clear top six player in the bottom six, which is something that happened a lot last year. So I will give them credit for that. God, the LA Kings roster was still terrible. So completely broken might not have been fair. It might not have been fair now that we look at it. But overall, yeah, it's still interesting. Let's take a look really quickly at scouting. Has anything happened? Has anything no. God. Oh, Fog of War Draft Edition. God damn it. And we still, of course, can't get pre-generated faces on these players, even though they do it for Be a Pro and for coaches, because why would we have that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Oh, God. We have hit, 13 minutes or so, and already I'm just like, okay. I can't. Oh, God. Oh, man. It's tough to look at. It's tough to look at. Let's at least finish simming this first season. We've kind of seen that some of the teams are at least managing to be half decent in terms of keeping their teams together. Obviously, though, certain trades just never should have happened. Trade values, again, are just so incredibly low. Maybe that's something I should have looked at, actually. Maybe I'll sim up to the draft really quickly and take a look from there. But yeah, it's tough to look at. It really, really is. And hopefully that patch is exactly the shot in the arm that this mode needs. And really, by saying shot in the arm, you're implying, oh, here's a boost. The mode doesn't need a boost. It needs a cast. Fix. Just let the broken bones heal themselves, please. Oh, God. We're actually going to make the playoffs here, aren't we? And we have 3 games left. Despite the fact we've been sellers all season long, we might actually miss out here. Hold on. Nope, we're in a wild card spot. It's going to be interesting. Florida's won 50 games. Let's take a look here. We lose there. Okay, so if we lose here and lose out, we're going to miss the playoffs. Yeah, we just missed the playoffs. Well, that's very Milbury mode. The fact that our team just missed out or lost out and missed out on the playoffs. Good stuff. Good job, Mike. You technically did it. You tanked us out of a playoff spot. The Blue Jackets always suck. That was a problem last year, too. Ottawa and Detroit, not that good. In the Central, Nashville and Colorado, still at the bottom for some reason. I swear it's like those teams are cursed. It's unbelievable. And then LA also managed to suck. Vegas, not that good. Oh, the same issues. The same issues seem to continue to be a thing. Year in and year out. Let's take a look around the league, see what the hell happens. Shout out to that truck in the background. The joys of recording from Girlfriend 24 is just a little bit louder here than it is in my home sweet home. But Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, it was on medium scoring. So to be honest, that looks about right for what you'd expect for medium scoring. Goal scoring king was Patrick Kane. The assist leader was Kuznetsov. Fair enough. Who won the rookie race? I care more about that than anything else, really. Lafreniere on 45 points. Not bad. No other rookie did all that well, though. Oh, boy. So, we might as well see who wins the cup, right? We might as well see who wins it. We'll get to the draft, and I want to be able to look at trade values for the teams, because that is probably the biggest issue at this point. Beyond not being able to draft, or not being able to scout and, properly prep for the draft, It is the trade values of everything that just ruins it. Oh, it ruins it. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, you saw the crazy trades as a result of that. You've seen that the auto scouting just doesn't work. It doesn't matter what your scouting department looks like or anything. It's just broken regardless. This is more depressing than I thought it would be. I'm just sad. It's like I want to be able to play. Let me play. But this was the worst, probably the worst possible year. Like, Be a Pro is good, but there's some issues with it that, again, I didn't expect to be there. Bridgeport won the Calder Cup. That's cool. You know, there were some issues that shouldn't have been there. This is the best year to be a hot content creator. Definitely a good year for those in hot, mainly because the mode isn't broken. No, it works. It works. There's a difference between not good and broken. I don't know if I'd define HUD as good, but, you know, shout out to Brent Seabrook retiring. Let me get to these trade values, please, on draft day. Let me see what we got around the league. Can't wait to see what the values are for our team, first and foremost. So, anything too crazy? I mean, Pajot probably shouldn't be worth that much. I mean, Cahoon, you're talking first to second rounder. Nothing overly ridiculous. Hoffman must be on an expiring deal. Yeah. Defensively, that's actually a little bit better than I would have thought. Nothing too absurd there, if we're being honest. Although, again, like the value of second-round picks, like, Jesus Christ, like, that's a little bit overboard. And again, we talked about the AI loving to throw around second-round picks. If you give them the freedom, there you go. Let's take a look here. Are there any good examples of just absurd trade value for no reason? I mean, I guess Brock Nelson should be worth that much if second-round picks are going for what they're going for. You know, for being honest here, Chikrin's worth, he's still a medium elite. Okay, sure. I can totally see why Chikrin would still be a medium elite. I can't. Really? Anything crazy? I mean, Tage Thompson's value is through the roof, but that has to do more with his potential, which he shouldn't have. So again, that's another big issue is like, hey, here are the potentials. and the ridiculously inflated values, like Alex Nylander still somehow having medium elite, and as a result being worth a crap ton. Werenski, Jones, Dubois, Domi's still worth a hell of a lot. Kevin Shattenkirk, there you go. Kevin Shattenkirk is worth that much, apparently. Good to know. That's probably the first one where it's just physically upsetting. Is there anybody else, though? I'm intrigued. Drew Doughty still has that absurd value. Shout out to Doggo in the background. Dumba, I don't know how Dumba's value is that low, to be honest, then. Montreal trying to trade Gallagher. Like, how is Gallagher's value that low, though, if someone else is as high as it is? It just doesn't make sense. It really, really doesn't. Oh, boy. Let's see. The Rangers, Panarin, Lafreniere, Kakko, Zibanejad. Imagine they added Jared Spurgeon, who is horrifically underrated. In this game, Chris Tierney. There you go. Don't know if his value should be that high, considering he is a point over or a point under and 2 years older than Colin White, who has the same value. But sure, you can do that if you want. Guys, this is painful. This is painful. I don't know if I'm physically... Look at Jordan Eberle's value. Oh, God. This is... And that's physically painful, too, seeing Torrey Krug on the Blues. Oh, God. McDonough's values through the roof. Guys, it's physically painful. That's all I can say. It is physically painful. We will eventually, inevitably, be doing things related to franchise mode on NHL 21. But for now, I can't sim a season without being in physical and mental anguish. So I thank you for watching. We'll be back soon with something. We're going to make this work. We're going to get through these trying times. But look at how they massacred my boy.